Hello and welcome to Spoken Like a Native podcast. My name is Diane. I'm an English teacher from Scotland and a devoted language learner, and this podcast is for those learning English to improve their listening and vocabulary, with episodes on engaging topics like culture, current events, history, and how languages work. If you want to improve your speaking and listening, head over to speakmeters.com, where you can take part in small group conversations hosted by native speakers. This is an amazing way to boost your fluency, expand your vocabulary, and increase your confidence by practicing with qualified, certified, and selected native speakers who really enjoy helping people. There are sessions at a range of levels for English, French, Spanish, and German, so book your first session today. Speakmeters.com. And don't forget, you can take part in this podcast by telling me your ideas for topics. Information about how to get in touch with us is in the description. Enough beating around the bush, let's get this episode underway. Hi, welcome to episode 12 of Spoken Like a Native. This episode is about animals, it's about pets. And I'm having a chat with my cousin, Erin, who lives in Northern Ireland. She's from Northern Ireland. So it's just a kind of general chat, a bit of a catch-up we had, and we chatted about the different pets and animals we had. And Erin works in a veterinary surgery, so that was why I thought it was a good topic. We mentioned all of our different pets when we were talking, but I thought I would just make things a bit clear from the beginning in case you were searching to try and find out which animals we're talking about. So Erin has, amongst her 3 cats, one of her cats is a hairless cat, and they are called Sphinx cats. She also has a boxer dog, so that's a breed of dog called a boxer. It's quite a large dog. I'm sure you can see some pictures of them online. And the other dog is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, or they're called Staffies for short. I myself have a dog which is a mix of Dalmatian and a kind of mongrel, which is another mixed dog. He's a big white dog with a few spots. And I have 1 cat at home and then 3 kittens on our land. 3 of the cats are ginger or ginger and white, and one of them is a calico. And calico is like white with black and ginger patches, so it's all different patches mixed together. Yeah, so this episode is great for animal lovers. But if you have any suggestions for other topics, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Hi, Erin.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I am good, thank you very much. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. How is the weather? Are you in Belfast?
I am we're close enough to Belfast, just Moira, but the weather was good. A little bit of rain, but there's nice and sunny now.
I just went out for a walk with the dog and got a bit sweaty. It's at 8:15 here. Right. Got an hour later.
And it starts then to get cool down now. Like, it's fine to take the dog out for a walk and things. He doesn't get too hot then at all.
No, we had him last year. When we first came to Spain, we were living in the central region. I don't know, have you ever been to Spain?
Yeah. I have done, yes.
You'll know that it gets pretty hot. We were in Castilla-La Mancha, which is in the center, and there it can get really dry. That was where the puppy came from.
No.
But he's short hair, so he's like a mix of a Dalmatian and another type of dog. So he's not, he does get hot, but it's not as bad as a husky or something.
Yes, short hair keeps him nice and cool.
Yeah, so we would be walking around in the summer, and he would just jump into the fountains and going into the shade. And poor little thing. Yeah. When he comes home now, he just flops on the floor on his side.
Yeah, he'd be tired, and then the hot weather as well sort of knocked out a little bit too.
And how are your dogs doing?
Yeah, they are all good. We had them out this morning just going over the fields. So they had a good run, and they're now down the stairs. They've just had their dinner, and they are both lying sleeping on the couch.
What kind of dogs are they?
So one is a boxer and one is a staffy.
Okay.
So they're both as well short-haired, but they're both a bit mad. So it's nice to have them lying down on the couch for a wee 10 minutes.
Yeah, you need to give them lots of exercise. They behave a bit better.
They do, just about. They're still a bit crazy, but yes, once they get a good run over the field, they behave a lot better, is right.
Yeah, if you can if it's easy to get to somewhere where you can let them off, it's much better. They can just drive themselves a bit mad if they don't get to run about too much.
Absolutely. And then, I suppose if you walk them on the lead and stuff, it is good, but mine too are that crazy. They kind of need to be off it, just so they can get a good run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have any other pets?
So I have 2 cats and then, 3 cats. The third one is an Egyptian Sphinx, so he has no hair. So he's a little bit different. The other 2 are just the usual fluffy cats. Then he lies between them because obviously he doesn't have any fur. So he absolutely loves whenever them 2 come home, and he just squeezes in beside them and kind of just, I suppose, steals their fur for warmth. Bless him.
Do they need like a little jumper in the winter or something like that?
Yeah, so he does. He has like a little wardrobe. He has all different little tops he would wear in winter. Wee fluffy jumpers and like little t-shirts and things, which I don't even think he really likes wearing that much, but he does get cold, so he just has to run about with it on. One of them's kind of like a little turtleneck and stuff, so he runs about like, I don't know, bless him, but I think he looks cute in them anyway.
Yeah, I saw a few YouTube, on what is it called, shorts, where they suggest like very short videos on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And there's loads about animals, and if you look at one cat thing, it will show you like millions and millions of them. And there's a woman with 2, I think it's 2 of those hairless cats, sphinxes, American, and she was saying they're a bit like dogs in how their behavior is a bit more like not so antisocial.
Yeah, so
than other cats.
They definitely are. They kind of are like a little mini dog, to be honest, because they're way more sociable towards humans. I suppose just sort of just your normal cat, if we call it that, kind of just comes to see you when they want food or out, or that's about it. But no, his name's Rupert, so he is kind of like a third dog. He just loves human interaction, and he'll sit for his wee treats and things like that. It's a bit mad, but it's very cool, I think. So
how do people react to I don't know if you have people around and they say, oh, what's that?
That's exactly how they react. It's usually they stand and stare, and then they're like, what is that? Just like just a wee naked cat. And he doesn't. He is very bad, because someone will come in, and a lot of people, when they first see him, don't like the look of him, because they have quite a little angry, wrinkly face. But he doesn't hold back. Like, he will jump up on their shoulders and like rub round them, and some people are like, can you get him away? And then some people fall for him, because he is cute once you give him 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of get used to it, and then you think, oh, it's kind of like a little wrinkly kind of person,
little wrinkly cute alien thing. Bless him.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I've got a cat sitting on my lap at the moment. Ginger, Wendy. Her real name's Wednesday, but it's easier to say Wendy.
Yeah.
And she's Ginger, but she's quite temperamental. Like, she's only really friendly with me. She's not that friendly with my husband. But yeah, and it's all completely on her terms.
Yeah.
And she comes like, okay, touch me, pay me attention, give me food.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time, if you approach her, sometimes she'll just scratch you.
Yeah, don't say it, but like, go away. It is kind of hard. It's all in their terms, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what she would look like if she was hairless. She'd be a scary little thing because of the fur. She's so cute. We've got 3 other kittens actually, but not in the house. They're living up on our piece of land with all the chickens. We've got chickens and a turkey.
Wow.
And then we've got 3 little kittens.
And would the kittens go over and sort of go in near the chickens or anything like that, or do they not be?
I'm not sure. Well, at the moment they've got a really big cage thing just so that they've not been there. There's one that's really new, and the other 2 have been there. I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks. I'm not sure now. Mm-hmm. So just so that they think that that's their land, their territory. They don't run away. No. So the most of the time, and because they're really tiny as well, if they kind of run around, you're not sure where they would end up. So we're kind of keeping them mostly, like taking them out to walk around a bit and then putting them back in there.
Yeah, just so they learn.
In the cage. But they don't seem to be scared of the chickens, and chickens seem to kind of leave them alone. The funniest one is the turkey. I don't know why. I always find him really cute. So poor little thing. He should really have a girlfriend, partner, but we can't find one. Can't find a partner.
He's lonesome at the moment.
Yeah. Poor thing. We didn't really want to have turkeys. My husband wanted chickens, and then his friend was like, "Here, I've got a spare turkey." So he ended up bringing him. Poor thing, but he's really cute. I find him quite cute.
No, and would he roam about with the chickens, or do you have him separate? Or
he sleeps separately from them. But yeah, during the day if they're inside the barn together, like so the chickens will come out of their smaller place, and then if there's no one else, if there's no people there, we'll just leave them like inside the barn, all kind of wandering around together. But then we'll let them out, and then they just walk around. And I don't know if he thinks he's a chicken, or if he thinks he's a person. I don't know.
Oh.
And I think our dog thinks that he's a person.
And the dogs and everything, like they don't bother with the chickens either, or is everybody kind of get on well?
Well, yeah, they get on well. Dog Alfie, he chases them.
Okay.
So like he likes them, but he just wants someone to play with.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's fine, other times he like freaks them out.
Yeah.
So it can be a bit annoying. Like he's supposed to be there sort of helping out in a way, guarding, and he sort of makes a bit more of a fuss than is necessary. But he's quite good with the cats. Like if you're sort of trying to do something and you've got the cats out, little kittens on their own, like he'd be quite good at sort of herding them.
Oh,
so make sure they don't run away too far.
That's cute.
But yeah, he's very affectionate. He's not trying to attack them or anything.
Yeah, he's just wanting a wee game.
Yeah, he tries to play with Wendy, the cat, and sometimes she wants to play, and sometimes she just scratches him.
Scratches his face when she doesn't want to play.
She'll put her claws right into his lip.
Oh.
With nasty. Cats can be really nasty sometimes.
They actually can. They are really nasty. Just again, it is literally just when they want you or they want to play, they'll do it, and then any other time, you'll either get scratched in the face or they just go away.
Yeah, I've got so many scratches. So, tell me a bit about your job.
Yeah, so work in a veterinary clinic in a place called Lisburn. And work there every day, obviously, to do the kind of nursing side of it. So a morning would just be going on in, doing our operations, and obviously then we do the sort of care and vet after the operations are all done. So the vets will go away and consult, and then we just sort of go around them in the afternoon and give medication, any syringe feeding, anything like that, and just try and get them back on their feet. So yeah, it is. It's a busy wee practice, but I love it. It's really good, really rewarding.
And how long have you been there?
So I have worked there for 10 years.
Oh, okay, that's quite a while.
Long time.
So how do you get into that kind of, did you start off sort of doing like a, I don't know, how would you call it, like a traineeship or an internship or something? Or
Yeah, so left school at 16 and knew I wanted to work with animals. Wasn't really sure what route I wanted to go down. But there was a sort of nursing role kind of opening, and I just went for the interview, and obviously I got the job, and then I went and studied in a college called Greenmount, which was just a kind of 1 day a week, and then the rest of the time you're in the vet. So that was a nice way to learn the course. You're not just doing it all in college, it's nice to be able to be in the vets as well learning. So yeah, that's kind of how I got in, and have just never left since.
yeah. And do you remember, like, was it when you first started, was it exactly how you imagined? Because I know I was thinking about, oh yeah, working with animals. So, you have quite a very, I would say, rosy picture of it when when you're just thinking about it as a fantasy or a dream.
Yeah, you do.
What was it that surprised you? Or what was it that was difficult?
I suppose, yeah, whenever, I got the job and I thought, oh, this is great, it's going to be so exciting. And, as you said, you do make it into like, oh, it's all lovely and cute and everything's great. But I suppose I'm kind of used to it now. But yes, when I very first started, I'd say I kind of got my eyes opened when the likes of like emergencies were coming through, or unfortunately when it comes time to put your dog or your cat to sleep, it can be obviously very upsetting. So yeah, I suppose you don't really think of that bit as you're applying to want to do that. Yeah, I suppose for a few years it was eye-opening, but then I guess the longer you do it, you kind of learn how to deal with it.
Yeah, I guess it's probably something that people don't really talk about so much, because there's almost like, if a relative of yours dies or is very ill, of course you're going to be upset. That's acceptable. But I think there's a bit of like a stigma if you're too upset about your cat or your dog being ill or dying. And I don't know if you've probably seen some people really not taking it too well.
Yeah, it can be very sad. It's some people, I think if you're an animal lover, people will be sympathetic towards it. But I suppose there is a stigma for people that maybe don't like animals or maybe don't have animals, so they don't really understand the love you actually really can have for them. I suppose a bit of stigma would kind of come from that. But yeah, it can be upsetting for the likes of it's maybe like an older person, and maybe their wee 16-year-old dog is kind of their main family or their main person, and it can be very upsetting then.
Yeah.
But there's lots of good bits to it too, like lots of lovely puppies and kittens and lots of nice bits to the job too.
Yeah. So is it mainly like your average pets like cats and dogs, or do you have anything more like farm animals or anything more exotic?
Yeah, so where I work mainly, we are small animal practice, so we wouldn't see any farm side of it. See a little bit of exotics, sometimes see a tortoise or snake. Not very often, but yeah, certainly we do sometimes see them. But yeah, mainly cats and dogs, and bunnies and things like that. Anything small.
Oh yeah, you get some. Do people take their hamsters to the vet?
And they do, yeah, because sometimes their wee teeth and things can grow a little bit too long, and we can clip them back. And a few months ago, there was a wee hamster, and unfortunately, the cat had got it. So the cat had managed to like kind of cut his back. So we had to actually put him under an anaesthetic, and one of the vets stitched his back, and he actually did really, really well, because we weren't really sure, because they're so small. The anaesthetic is so risky for them. But he did so well, and yeah, he was actually in, I think, a couple of months ago as well, and he had done really well, and all his fur had grown back, and he was just running about. So that was a cool.
That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
That must be so strange trying to do surgery on something so small.
Yeah, the vet, bless her, she was just having to be so gentle because obviously the needles and things, like it was just a wee tiny hamster. But yeah, she did really well, and the wee hamster did brilliant too. So yeah, I like them kind of things where it's something a bit different.
Yeah. And are there any animals that you don't like?
Any animals that I don't like? No, not really. Maybe the odd spider or something, but I don't really dislike
People
anything.
don't. No. Has anyone brought in their spider?
There was one time, and I can't even remember. It was so long ago. I think he was just like not himself. It was like a big tarantula, and I kind of had a wee look, but I wasn't too dying to see him anyway.
How do you tell there's something wrong with it?
I'd leave that up to the vet. That's for them to figure out, not me.
Yeah,
So I think the client had just said he wasn't eating and he just wasn't being himself. However, she could tell that. I don't know what a spider's personality is like.
Yeah, he wasn't doing a little dance when she came home or something.
I know. Yeah. He just wasn't himself according to that little lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend at, when I was at school who had, I think it was just one. She had loads of cats and rabbits, but she also had a tarantula.
Wow.
And she was a really, really good friend of mine. But it wasn't that I was scared of it particularly, but I just felt a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You go and sleep over at a house, and you just think, are you sure that thing's secure?
You don't want to wake up in the morning and he's sitting beside you on your pillow.
Yeah, and the thing was, it never really did anything. It just sort of sat there. And I think, what's the point of these things? I mean, they look, striking. They look interesting. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they get much out of being a pet.
No, probably not, which is the sad thing. I think nearly some of those things are better just left in the wild, but, well, yeah, it can be.
Yeah, this thing. Have you ever had an exotic pet or a reptile or a snake or anything?
No. I kind of nearly feel sorry for them because I think they're quite difficult to look after them completely correctly, with their lights, UV lights and everything that you need. So it can be quite difficult to look after them correctly. So no, I don't think I would ever have one really. I'm a bit sorry for them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I had a snake for not for very long. But yeah, I didn't like the fact that you had to go and buy these dead mice to feed. To feed it, and then there's no relationship.
No,
really.
Definitely not.
I just think you get the snake to sort of look cool in a way. I think a lot of people do it, or it's like, I want to be different. I want a pet, but I don't want to get the average typical pet, so I'll get a snake, and that's fine in theory, but they don't really connect with you.
No, they don't really do very much. I suppose they might come up and see you, as I say, when you're feeding it a mouse or something, but yeah, you can't really take it out for a walk or do anything with your snake, you kind of just for looking at.
Yeah, and they don't really sort of go, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? There's no empathy, there's no connection. So I think that's just a kind of bit strange. But I really like things like iguanas. I think they look really cool. But I think it would probably be the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going to leave it for this week. Next week you'll have part 2 of the conversation, just so you don't have a massive long episode to listen to, and you can chop it into 2 smaller chunks. If you have any feedback, any ideas for future topics, requests for clarifications, anything else you think would be useful, my email address will be in the description for the podcast. And don't forget that if you would like to be on the podcast, please get in touch and we can do an interview if you have something interesting you would like to share. And if you'd like to practice your language skills, don't forget there is Speak Meters, where you can practice in a small group or on a one-to-one basis. You can also host your own sessions as well in your native language. See you next week for part 2. Bye. Thanks for listening. What do you think about today's topic? Remember, you can get in touch by leaving a comment or by joining the Speak Meters community. Follow Speak Meters on Instagram and subscribe to Spoken Like a Native on your favourite podcast platform. You can also leave a comment and like the stream. Please, please, please leave a review. It really helps us to find new listeners who are looking for fun language learning content. And lastly, don't forget to head over to speakmeters.com to take part in live conversations hosted by friendly native speakers. That's all for today. Catch you next time. Bye. comment or by joining the Speak Meters community. Follow Speak Meters on Instagram and subscribe to Spoken Like a Native on your favourite podcast platform. You can also leave a comment and like the stream. Please, please, please leave a review. It really helps us to find new listeners who are looking for fun language learning content. And lastly, don't forget to head over to speakmeters.com to take part in live conversations hosted by friendly native speakers. That's all for today. Catch you next time.